Hi Pisces, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Allie and I'm so grateful to be spending this precious time together today. I hope you've been taking excellent care of yourself, and this reading is timeless, so whenever you come upon it, there will be a message here for you. And so I just really want to jump on in. My Palo Santo is going, which is lovely. I'm very grateful for its energy and what it's bringing here for us today. So, do you need to cleanse your energy? Is that, that's kind of coming up here because this is really going, and maybe there's some cleansing that would be beneficial for you as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to switch the view so you can see me shuffling. And I was called immediately to a deck I haven't been using a whole lot frequently. And we're going to see if we can get the overall energy here. It's the Angels and Auras deck. And to be honest, this deck does feel quite Piscean to me. In the Aquarius reading, I was drawn to this very esoteric botanical deck. I have to use the guidebook every time I use it because there's no words on it. There's no typical imagery. It's just different plants. And it has its own key, for the major arcana. But it felt very Aquarian. Oh, look at that. That just kind of fell out, and we're supposed to take it. We're going to take it. Self-employment. Interesting. Number 34. Commitment, resourceful, confident, and rewarding. And we're going to see if we get anything else. So, Spirit Team, angels, ancestors, guides, creator of the highest white light. What is the overall energy of this reading, please, for Pisces? Overall energy of this reading for Pisces, please and thank you. Yeah. Blessing in disguise. Okay, this is interesting. So for some of you, you may have become unemployed recently. I'm kind of hearing through no fault of your own. But you may have become unemployed recently, and that act, while it may have felt like a tower moment, at the time really was a blessing in disguise, where I don't think you could really be the real you there. And I'm getting that from this card being at the bottom. I think it's taking a lot of courage for you to step out and do something differently. It's taking a lot of confidence, a lot of courage, and trust to commit to something new. But I wonder how many Pisces that may find themselves listening to this have found themselves in a recent situation where, they're looking at other options like self-employment, starting a business, going out on a limb and starting something new where you can really showcase and spend time working with things that you enjoy. So an example I'm getting is somebody who worked as a CPA, starting a business with botanicals or herbs or, something very, very different from what they were doing. And I split the deck to Divine Magic. Number 19. It says wishes, goals, dreams, accomplishment. Yeah, how to get a book contract is on here. So maybe for some of you, it is a commitment to jump in and write a book, finish a book, a screenplay, something like that. Maybe it's a book on your life. And yeah, to see how to get it published, how to get that going there. Oh my. Yeah, and it almost felt like something like popped your balloon. Look at this reality check with the unicorn. Everything's okay. 444, big news, reassurance, support, guidance, overseen. And then we have Raziel with the rainbow, number 8, enlightened, adaptable, soulful, connected. You're very connected. And I love this reality check with the unicorn, with the rainbow. We have lots of rainbows here, actually, I'm noticing. So I feel like perhaps rainbows are significant to you, but also, you know, rainbows are indicative of, for me anyway, wishes coming true. Wishes coming true that are on the horizon. Dreams and goals being met. And then they had me turn it over, and here's another rainbow. And this one says peace, connected. Again, you have this word on a couple cards here of being connected. Okay. So there is everything is okay. There's some big news coming in. I feel that very intensely. Yeah, there's some kind of revelation. But what I'm getting here, where it may have felt like a balloon, proverbial balloon was popped, is this feeling that honestly, your angels had a hand in this. Your guides, your spirit team had a hand in this, because you're a unicorn. And what this means is, like, you are unique. You have a unique soul expression. You're here to do something differently. And it feels as though if the universe didn't kind of nudge you in that direction, you may have stayed where you were. I'm also really being drawn to these red shoes for some reason. And shoes talk to me about, you know, taking a step in a new direction, taking a leap forward, taking a leap of faith, movement. Yeah, you're taking steps in a new direction. That's very connected, very soulful, very you, very unique. And you're committing to this. And so this reading is to provide you with guidance and support on this new path you are taking steps on, and to let you know that, yes, you need determination. Yes, you have to take actionable steps. And the universe is going to meet you there by taking those actionable steps, because what you're doing is very significant. But you have a lot of support, a lot of angelic and ancestral support. The universe, really, I get this with all this rainbow energy. The universe is supporting you on this new endeavor. And there's some kind of big news. The number 22 could be significant for someone. There's some kind of big news coming up here. I had gotten a specific... No, and I left it in the corner, so that's okay. Let's see. I want to get some more information. So can we get some clarity, please? Spirit team, I would like some clarity on this, some further information. Yeah, the wings, the golden wings, the feathers, these things are really sticking out to me. It's so weird. I just had, as I said that, I had that Billie Eilish song, Birds of a Feather, start playing in my head. And, you know, I think you're very unique. I don't actually know all the lyrics to that song. I don't know the meaning behind that song, but it just started playing in my head. And I'm looking at these different birds here and these different feathers on the different cards. You're very unique. And where you were was not, the place that you're coming from. You weren't able to shine your authenticity there. You weren't able to make the impact on the world there that you're here to be making. Where you were was just a stepping stone. It was like a pause point on your journey to maybe get your footing, to help build your confidence or work on some other internal things that you had going on. Six of Cups, but it's a past energy. And perhaps you did have some good times there. You met some people that you really like, or just the stability, or, what seemed like stability brought you some peace and comfort, but it wasn't really filling your cup, was it? It wasn't really doing it for you. It was just a stepping stone is what I'm getting. But it was so comfortable, I think, again, that they're kind of saying if we didn't nudge you in this direction, you would have stayed there. And that's not what you came here to do. You didn't stay here to remain comfortable forever. Yes, you're supposed to be comfortable, but like that kind of comfortable. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, every day is the same. The doldrums, like, you know what to expect. You know who you're going to see. There's supposed to be more color in your life than that. There's nothing wrong with it. You just weren't supposed to stay there. Wow. We have the Star and we have the Devil, and this is meant to be reversed. It came out reversed, and they want it reversed because you're freed from that energy. I think you were healing in that place that you were in so that you would have the resilience, the strength, the fortitude to take on this thing that you're doing right now or starting right now. You had to heal from something and you needed that stability. I think maybe that was what was like popping your balloon, like pulling the rug out from under you, was that it seemed so stable until it wasn't. I've had instances in my career in the past where something like that happened to me and it was shocking and so upsetting, and in hindsight needed to happen, but at the time I was just, so I understand that. But like, you have unlocked something. They keep saying we had to give you this nudge. You had to be nudged. So I think it was kind of like getting real cozy where you were, and you were so cozy that it didn't really matter if life didn't feel like a rainbow, it was like, well, yeah, you had to be nudged in this direction. But you freed yourself. You've been freed from that. And it was holding you back. Because it was kind of like, well, sure, I have dreams. Yeah, I could do this, but why would I do that when I'm so set here? But it was all kind of a farce. It wasn't real, and you were never meant to stay there. But I do think, we're talking about past energy here. I do think you're excited about the future. I think you may be a little bit nervous or hesitant. There might be a little bit of fear there. Yeah, Page of Cups. It might be a little bit surprising that you're about to take on this new adventure. But the idea of the adventure itself, I don't think is new to you. This is something that's swirled in your brain for a minute. And now you have the time and the space. The universe is saying, well, what's stopping you now? You're strong enough. You're healed enough. You're in the perfect position to take this on. And I just keep hearing repeating in my head, because this is part of what you came here to do, this thing. is what you came, part of what you came here to do. I see a koi fish on this Page of Cups card, and I cannot remember. I think it was the last general reading I posted before Capricorn, I think. But there was a koi fish in there that if you were watch that reading, this might resonate for you. And we read about koi fish and what a strong animal it is and how it swims upstream against the current. And in Asian culture, might have been Japanese culture, forgive me, I can't remember specifically. They, part of their, what would you call that? Their folklore, I suppose, is that koi fish are descended from dragons. Again, that unique energy, but also incredibly strong. And this is who you are. I do think that reading is connected to this, actually, because we've been talking about this unique energy of yours. So maybe you've been unemployed, but you're choosing to feel positive and inspired and start this new thing. What might this new thing be, Spirit? I mean, I know it's going to be different for everyone, but can we have an idea, a general energy of what this new thing is? For some, it might be writing a book. It says, I stand my ground and look for peace. 5 of Wands reversed. Need a little bit more. What might this new thing be? I do think it has something to do with helping people feel peaceful, helping people heal, helping people find empathy within themselves and for others, to see how strong someone can be even after going through immense difficulty and hardship. And it's like helping people find that pearl within themselves, or that they are a pearl, right? That you can become this beautiful, desirable, worthy thing through hardships in life, because pearls are created by sand rubbing them for a long time, right? By friction. And you have that ability to show people, look at what I have gone through. I have found peace in myself. I've found stability. I've found calm. I've found joy amidst the hand that life has, that life has dealt me, that I've experienced. I've found this kind of like rainbow peace and joy amidst all of this. And this is a very unique quality. This is very unique because you have clearly survived and healed and thrived in spite of many hardships in life. And when I say hardships, I mean, yeah, some were hardships and some were I don't know if I'm going to survive this kind of grief and pain and sorrow and suffering. You've kind of experienced the gamut, I feel, which makes it make so much more sense that this thing that you got nudged from, or like a tower moment, that you were, dragging your feet to leave it and go do something where you have to step out on faith, and it's kind of scary and nerve-wracking. Even if you knew you were meant to do it, like you didn't want to do it because you were like, things are just normal. Things are just easy. Why would I rock this boat now? And then Spirit was like, hey, well, we're going to, flip the table for you. Here we go. But you've also learned how to find inspiration in that and roll with the punches. Yeah. Raziel is really like, feels like they're at the center of this reading. And I love how they have a lantern. It's kind of reminding me of the Hermit, and the Hermit is a guide. And I think you have learned how to guide yourself, and now you're going to be guiding others. Yeah, in a creative way. With this Six of Pentacles card, the affirmation says, I give and receive for universal good. I think that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be giving and receiving for universal good in a creative way, bringing a manifestation to life, helping people heal, see themselves, know that they can transform themselves through even the greatest of life's traumas, helping people see themselves clearly. And yeah, helping people heal. It's interesting. At the bottom of the deck, I have the Moon. My intuition guides me to the right decision. More koi fish on this card. And koi fish in that other reading said that it means wealth and prosperity and good luck, good fortune are on their way to you. And that's the feeling that I get here with this big news. Everything's okay. 444. Like, even though you had this thing happen, it's a blessing in disguise. And this little girl is excited. There's confetti. There's some kind of surprise here because you're trusting the universe and trusting that this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, I'm not sure exactly. Is this resources, or can we get more information on the blessing in disguise, please? More information on the blessing in disguise. What is the big news? The big news, blessing in disguise. Can we have any information? Six of Wands and Judgment. The Six of Wands says, I am proud of what I achieve and accept my rewards. In Judgment. Something. Yeah, there's an achievement in something. There's an achievement on some kind of calling you've had. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to tell me, because it says here at the bottom, I am always open to good news. And that's what I'm wanting to know. What is the good news? What's the good news about? An achievement in something, in a calling that you've had, but it feels like a previous energy. Strength, something you had to be very resilient about with. Something about you being a diamond in the rough. Something about your strength. Yeah, it's almost, I really can't put my finger on this specifically, and maybe that's because it's going to resonate differently for each person who tunes in. But there's something, the big news, the good news coming in has something to do with an achievement of yours, from the strength and fortitude you have shown, related to a calling that I think has completed. Because of your unique energy, because of some strength you have embodied that has led to an achievement of yours. I feel like that's a little bit vague, but that is kind of what they're giving me here. So maybe that's because it will resonate differently for each person. I want to look into this Raziel. I actually don't think I don't know if this book if this deck has a guide. It does have a guidebook. I don't think I've ever looked at the guidebook on this. That's kind of crazy. As I say that to you, I really don't. Interesting. The inside of the box says, "May the angels fill your life with color and magic." And that is, this card is full of color. It's a rainbow angel. Let's see. Raziel number. Oh, I opened it right to it. And it's also on page 16. The Blessing in Disguise card is 16. The Tower card in Tarot is a 16. There's some connection here. It says, Archangel Raziel's name means the secrets of God, as he is said to sit at the throne of the divine, writing down everything he sees and hears. Think of him as the Merlin of the Archangel realm. He can help you to comprehend whatever you're trying to learn, especially if it's spiritual or mystical in nature. From there comes the element of enlightenment. Raziel works as a spiritual guide with the lamp, okay, for those who ask for his assistance. He understands all the secrets of the universe and how they work. He is great for helping us with issues such as spiritual awareness and self-understanding. He is also known for working with people who desire dream interpretation or wish to explore past lives. Interesting. To see a rainbow in the aura is one of the rarest experiences. Defined as the color of enlightenment, rainbow represents someone who understands their cosmic toolbox. Yes, this is you. This energy embodies the idea that we are multifaceted and may play many roles during the course of our day. This also suggests organized energy and is a compliment from the universe on your spiritual practice. I will say, it does say here, if inverted, which it wasn't, rainbow can be perceived as a wake-up call. Are you too earthbound to the moment? What is your focus? Are you truly happy with that? Or is it possible you should be looking for more? When you're connected to Source, you're connected to joy. And that is on this page number 17. When you're connected to Source, you're connected to joy. That feels very healing, very star card, which we had that. So you're definitely connected to this Archangel Raziel. And I would encourage you to do more research, because I honestly feel like this is one of your guides, especially at this moment in time. And I feel like they had a hand in this because you were ready. You were ready. The reality check of this is that you realize you could not stay where you were. It's time to move forward and do what you came here to do. You're strong enough. You're healed enough. This is part of your calling. People need you as a guide, as a healer, in whatever way that looks like for you, whether it's in a spiritual business, a spiritual practice, writing a book on what you've experienced, what you've learned. Whatever it looks like for you is what you're being intensely called to do. And I think one of your most supportive guides right now is Archangel Raziel. Rainbow auras feel very significant to you. So I'm getting, if you see a flash of a rainbow, through the window, through your kitchen window, or anywhere that you might see this rainbow aura, it will serve as a sign to you that you are supported, that you're seen, you're connected, to keep going. So look for that. And what a special sign that is. That's not, no signs are nothing, but that's not a nothing sign. That's a big one. And I also get that you are a lighthouse. You are a lighthouse to others, no matter what situation you're in, spiritual or just kind of mundane material. You're a lighthouse to other people because people know you've been through it, and they wonder, where do they find their joy? Where do they find their peace and calm? Look at what they have gone through. And how joyful they are. They can still laugh and smile and find beauty in the everyday. How did they do that? This is what you're here to do. You're here to show people, well, this is what I went through, and this is what I've learned, and this is how you can do it too. What a beautiful, beautiful calling you have on your life right now. Even if it feels a little overwhelming, a little scary, I think the caliber of the calling that you have has no choice but to support you from the spiritual realm, because it's work that needs done. It's work that needs shared here. And hopefully that will set your mind at ease a little bit about, material things like the devil card, but it's reversed. So I think you see that you're free from that, even if you have a little bit of fear. But, I heard something today from one of my favorite readers here on YouTube. I have a few readers that I just really enjoy, really trust. And I haven't seen him pop up in a while, but it's Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you haven't seen him, you should check him out. But I was listening to a reading for one of my signs today. And he said, how do we know? I'm probably going to butcher what he said. It was so poignant. But basically, like, a good way to know that you're doing something that you're meant to be doing is if you feel a little bit scared about it, or something along those lines. Like, having that little bit of anxiety and fear is a good indicator that you're doing something that you're meant to be doing. You're not just staying the same. You're not staying stagnant. You're taking a chance. You're doing something that, it means something to you. If you have a little bit of anxiety about it, how's it going to work out? Well, it must mean something to you. And I feel that for you in this reading, that it's to set your mind at ease, but to also say, hey, the little bit of anxiety or apprehension you might feel, check in with that, because it might just be your body saying, hey, I care about this. I don't want to mess this up. This is meaningful to me. And Spirit is saying, we're supporting you in whatever ways you need. Do this thing. You're meant to do this thing. Okay? So I'm going to finish this reading off for you with some oracle cards from the Citadel deck, because it has been looking at me. It's been looking at me the whole time. And this card on top is stuck to my hand, and it's for you. It says the Weaver, rediscovery, transition. Yes, this is where you are. You are weaving a new existence. You are transitioning in something new. I think you're rediscovering some things as maybe you go back and reflect on your life and put that into practice of how whatever this new thing is that you're going to do. But you're in a transition. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Queen, determination and sacrifice. And I do think that, what you're doing, you're sacrificing something. You're sacrificing some comfort. You're sacrificing a level of stability, I guess. Or status quo is maybe a better word than stability. To do something differently, to transition into this new thing. But you are determined. I think you're more determined than ever. I think this is a real calling from the universe. Thank you, Spirit. Can we have one or two more cards to put a cap on this reading, please? Yeah, I feel your determination. All right, we have the Archer, biding your time and planning ahead. I think this is where you're at right now. There is a call to make the leap, but I think you're kind of on the precipice, and that's okay. You're allowed to take the time to get your ducks in a row. But I think also whatever this big news that's coming in for you is connected to you being prepared. And let's get one final card for this reading, please. final card for Pisces. Thank you. Oh my gosh, the Fate. Accepting help and guidance. Yeah, I think you are the guidance. And I think you are going to be accepting help, or at minimum, I think you're accepting help from your guides. But you're going to achieve this. You are going to do an amazing job at whatever this is, at helping guide people. And this will be an enormous achievement for you. It will be the happiness and joy that's on the other side of this creation is immeasurable. Okay, Pisces, this was your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to channel this for you and for spending your precious time with me here. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find all that information at my website at theseaowl.com. It's also in the description box below. Please like, comment, share. Hyping is a thing now. I love to connect with you in the comments section if you feel called to let me know how it resonates for you. And more than anything, please take excellent care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.